Hello, and welcome to this video tutorial on how to use AGS's Training and Enablement Management module. If you're watching this tutorial on several videos, this is the 9th video in our series of how to use AGS's OCM ERP tool for change planning and management. Today, I will be providing you with a step-by-step introduction and an overview of how to use the Change Training module of the OCM ERP tool. Most AGS products are Excel-based, which was a strategic decision because most people are familiar with Excel. When you open the Training and Enablement Management module for the first time, you will land on the home page. After that, whenever you open the module, you will land on the page that was last opened before the module was closed. For today's tutorial, we will start with an overview of the module's home page. On the left of the home page will be the Organizational Training Management module's Training Topics Database button. Clicking on this button will take you to the Training Topics database, where you will input key information about your training topics and training delivery information. Later on, as part of today's presentation, I will provide you with a detailed overview of the topics database. The red button in the middle of the Business Change Training module's homepage is the Analytics Dashboard button. Clicking on this button will take you to the Analytics page. During today's presentation, I'll also provide you with a detailed overview of the Analytics Dashboard page. The next button is the Training Audience Database button. Clicking on this button will take you to the Training Audience Database, where you will input key information about people that will be trained, your training audience. We will refer to these individuals as trainees. We'll take a detailed view of this page later on in this tutorial. At the very top of the home page is the link that will take you to the main dashboard of the OCM ERP tool, where you can access all modules and templates within the tool, including this one. To the right section of the home page, you will see the menu column. The first item on the column is the Read This First link. Clicking on this link will take you to a page within the module that includes some pieces of highlighted information. The second item on the Business Change Training module's menu column is the link to the Instruction and Tutorials page. Clicking on the third link takes you to AGS's products page of our website, where you can find other popular and frequently used change management and project management tools, templates, and samples. The fourth link in the menu column takes you to the Passwords page, where you can access passwords to unlock and relock pages within the module. The next link is a single-use license page, which provides details on the licensing rights you have for using this module. Purchasing this module or tool involves a single user right of usage, and so giving this module or tool to multiple people to use is not permitted. Additional versions of this module or tool need to be purchased for other users. If you have any questions while using this module, all you have to do is click on the Questions, Click to Contact AGS link on the menu column to easily draft a message to the AGS support team. On the menu column, there are two links to two very important pages that you should be aware of. The first one is the Enter Unique List of Orgs page, where you will enter the list of your organization's divisions, departments, and groups that will be impacted by the project. To ensure consistency and nomenclature, it is best practice to use a centralized list of names. This list is then used as a drop-down menu on one or more of the columns on the Change Impact module's template database. This ensures that everyone is using the same nomenclature when populating the database. The other page is where you enter the unique list of job roles that will be impacted by the change. On the template database, this list will be used as a drop-down option on one or more of the columns. These are the same 2 pages that we discussed in the tutorial for the OCM ERP Tools main dashboard, video 1 of this series. You can also access this from the OCM ERP main dashboard page. We'll review these 2 pages in detail later on as part of this tutorial. The next items I would like to go over on the Change Training Management module's menu column are the sample data buttons. While using this module, you can always view sample data for the Training Topics database, the Training Audience database, and the module's Analytics dashboard. Clicking on any of the sample data buttons will take you to the specified sample. We will discuss these pages in detail shortly as part of this tutorial. And that covers the high-level overview of the menu column on the module's homepage. Next, let us review the Training and Enablement module's Training Topics database page. To open the page, I'm going to click the button which will take us to the database. When you initially open the module for the first time after purchasing it, the Training Topics database will be blank because nothing has been entered into it yet. But to illustrate what this organizational change training modules database will look like as you start entering information, we have added a Training Topics database with sample data to the module. You can access this template with sample data in 2 ways. Click the Template with Sample Data button at the top of the template database, or on the home page of the Organizational Training Management module, click the Training Topics Database with Sample Data button on the menu column to view the sample database. I'm going to click the Template with Sample Data tab at the top. The first thing I'd like to mention as we review the Training Topics database and the provided sample data is that the sample data on this page is just dummy data that has been included here for illustration purposes only. You can return to the main template database to enter data anytime by clicking the Template Database tab, at the top of the sample data page. 2 helpful tabs that are included on both the blank template database and the sample data page are the Home tab, which takes you out to the main page of the module, and the Main Dashboard tab, that will take you to the main dashboard of the OCM ERP tool. You'll see these 2 tabs throughout the pages in each module of the end-to-end OCM ERP tool. Just remember that Home takes you to the individual module's home page, and Main Dashboard takes you out to the main tool where you can access all modules. Let's look at the first 2 columns of the template. The first column, which is the Unique ID column, auto-populates with unique identifiers when you enter information about the training topic. These unique identifiers allow you to easily make reference to a particular topic group or to a row on the database. It is also used as the identifier to link trainees to training topics on other sections of the module. The second column, which is the Training Topics Group Name column, is an extremely important column. Use this column to name the training topics. You can use any naming convention you want, just as long as you use only a few words and it summarizes what the specific training is about. We included group as part of the column's name, Training Topics Group Name versus just using Training Topics Name, specifically because when you deliver a training session, you normally train people on multiple but related topics. As such, the Training Topics Group Name you enter here should be a name that reflects the group of related topics that will be provided in one training session. In our first row example, we use the Training Topics Group Name of Dynamics 365 Training. This training includes several different topics such as navigating the sales workforce and working with leads. Not every training topics group needs to include multiple related topics. You have the option of determining how to group your topics. Now let's look at the next three columns. The third column, which is the training topics group details column, should be used to input details on the related topics that trainees need to be educated on. The fourth column is the number of trainees per training group column, which is where you will enter the total number of trainees per each training group. The next column is the training delivery platform column. In this column, you'll choose how the training is going to be presented to the trainees. There is a drop-down to choose from, which includes the following options: in-person group training, one-on-one training, online tool training, online educational resources, webinar live video training, recorded webinar video, email, newsletter, staff meeting, event, TBD or to be determined, and other. Let's review the next two columns. The sixth column on the Change Training Topics database is the anticipated training date. Which is where you enter the estimated date for when the training will be delivered. It's okay to leave this blank if you don't have a determined or estimated date. Next, we have the Training Delivery Owners column. Use this column to input the name or names of people that will be delivering the training content. It's okay to add more than one name separated by a comma. It is also okay to leave this column blank if you don't know the names as of the time of entering the topics. Use the next two columns, the program name and the project name column, to capture project-related information. In some cases, there will be multiple projects and programs, and you can identify which program or project a trainee is impacted by using these columns. Completing these columns is optional. Use the Additional Details column for inputting any miscellaneous or additional notes. And that concludes the high-level overview of the Training Topics template database. Note, it is not mandatory to populate all the columns shown on the template database, but it is highly recommended. Information from the database will be leveraged by the target audience database, which is the database we are about to review next. To get to the target audience database for the project management and training platform, just click on the Home menu at the top left-hand side of this page to be taken back to the home page. When you get to the home page, click on the Training Audience Database button. When you initially open the Change Training Management module for the first time after purchasing it, the Training Audience Database will be blank because nothing has been entered into it yet. To illustrate what the database will look like as you start entering information, we have added a Training Audience Database with sample data to the module. You can access this template with sample data two ways. Click the Template with Sample Data button at the top of the template database, or on the home page of the Training Management module, click on the Training Audience Database with Sample Data button on the menu column to view the sample database. I'm going to click the Template with Sample Data tab at the top. The first thing I'd like to mention as we review the Training Audience Database and the provided sample data is that the sample data on this page is just dummy data that has been included here for illustration purposes only. You can return to the main template database to enter data anytime by clicking the Template Database tab at the top of the sample data page. You have the same two helpful tabs that are included on both the blank template database and the sample data page, which are the Home tab which takes you out to the main page of the module, and the Main Dashboard tab that will take you to the main dashboard of the OCM ERP tool. As a reminder, Home takes you to the individual module's home page, and Main Dashboard takes you out to the main tool where you can access all modules. Let's look at the first two columns on the template. The first column, which is the Unique ID column, auto-populates with unique identifiers when you enter information about each trainee. This unique identifier will allow you to easily make reference to a particular trainee or to a row on the database. It is also used as the identifier to link a trainee to specific training topics on other sections of the module. The second column, which is the Completed All Assigned Training Topics column, is an extremely important column. It is a status update question field that you will use to flag whether each trainee has completed all assigned training. If a trainee has completed most assigned topics but hasn't completed all, then use the No flag. Use the TBD flag to designate when you are yet to determine whether or not a trainee has completed all assigned topics. The column has a drop-down menu with these options: Yes, No, or TBD, to be determined. Next, let's review the batch of 5 columns that make up the trainee name and contact details segment. You'll use these to capture the first name, last name, job role or title, email address, and phone number of the trainees. It is okay to leave out phone number if your organization mostly communicates via email. The job role or title column uses a drop-down that is populated from the data you enter on the unique list of job roles page. Next, you'll use the division, department, and group columns. To capture the organizational details of the trainees. This is important as you can quickly and easily track and report out the number of trainees per division, department, and group. These columns use a drop-down that is populated from the data you enter on the unique list of orgs page. Depending on how your company is structured, you might not need to use all 3 organizational columns. For example, if your firm's organizational structure only includes division and departments, then that's all you would need to enter. The next batch of columns can be used to capture each trainee's geographical location. Including city, state, postal code, and geographical area or country, which is good information to know. For example, if a trainee is based in Australia and you are based in the US, then you will not want to schedule a training at a time that is inconvenient for the trainee. Depending on the scale and scope of the project, and also depending on the global structure of your firm, you might choose to ignore these columns if you're not pertinent to your organization. The next batch of columns can be used to capture manager's information for the trainee. You'll want to gather and input a trainee manager's first name, last name, title, and email address. Manager's information is important as you'll need to engage with these managers to provide regular status updates on their direct reporting training. Most importantly, you might need to follow up with them if employees are not showing up to training. The next batch of fields are critical fields that should be populated. The title of this segment is Trainee Progress Scorecard. At the top in the main column titles are the training topics group names, that you entered in the training topics database. These names and the corresponding ID numbers, or the blue filled cells, will match the unique IDs in the training topics group names on the training topics database. Each cell in the scorecard includes a drop-down option: 1, 2, 3, or 4. Each number also corresponds to a cell fill color for easier identification of a trainee progress. 1 has a pink fill color, 2 has a gold fill color, 3 has a green fill color, and 4 has a gray fill color. Here's how you use each number. You'll use 1 to indicate that the trainee needs to be trained on this topic. You'll use 2 to indicate that the trainee has completed this training topic. Use 3 to indicate that the trainee is very proficient on this training topic. And use 4 if the trainee does not need to be trained on the specific topic. When a cell has a white filled color, it means that a 1, 2, 3, or 4 flag is yet to be applied. Training allows trainees to develop necessary knowledge and skill set. After completing training, trainees then need to take some time to practice what they've been trained on. This allows them to build proficiency and competence. Make sure to follow up on trainees after you delivered training to track their competency and proficiency levels, and then come back and update the scorecard section on this training and enablement module. And that concludes the high-level overview of the Training Audience Template database. Note, it is not mandatory to populate all columns shown on the database, but it is highly recommended. Information from the database will be leveraged by the Change Training Modules Analytics Dashboard, which is the section of the module that we are about to review next. To get to the Analytics Dashboard for the Project Management and Training platform, just click on the Home menu at the top left-hand side of this page to be taken back to the home page. When you get to the home page, click on the Analytics Dashboard button. When you initially open the Organizational Change Training module for the first time after purchasing it, the Analytics Dashboard will be blank if nothing has been entered into the training topics and training audience databases. However, as you start entering information into the two databases, the respective charts, data, and metrics will start to show on the Analytics Dashboard. At the top of the Analytics Dashboard is a Refresh Analytics button. Clicking this button ensures that any data that has just been entered into the template databases are reflected by the Analytics Dashboard. As a good rule of thumb, you want to click the Refresh Analytics button when opening this page and before reviewing your analytics. To illustrate what the Change Training Modules Analytic Dashboard will look like as you start populating your databases, we have included a sample analytics dashboard to the module. You can access this template with sample data in two ways. Click the Dashboard with Sample Data button at the top of the Analytics Dashboard. Or, on the home page of the Training Management module, click the Analytics Dashboard with Sample Data button on the menu column. I'm going to click the Dashboard with Sample Data button. Okay, so we're now looking at the Sample Analytics Dashboard populated with our sample data. I want to point out the blue tab at the top of the page titled Analytics Dashboard. This tab takes you from the sample dashboard back to the Analytics Dashboard for your data. The first analytics section we will review today is the Total Number of Training Topics group section. This section provides a summarized number of the different groups of training topics and total number of assigned trainees. The next analytics section to focus on is the Status Update section. This section provides a high-level status update summary of the training implementation. It presents the total number of trainees that have completed all training, as well as those that haven't. It also shows the number of trainees whose status are yet to be determined. Note there is a yet to enter status that is also calculated. Whenever you enter the first name of a trainee in the target audience database, but are yet to enter a status, yes, no, or TBD, to be determined, then the module will add the trainee to the yet to enter status number. When you enter a yes, no, or TBD status on the completed all assigned training topics column on the training audience template database, then the trainee will be counted as part of the yes, no, or TBD status count on the analytics dashboard. The next analytics section below the status update section is the list of training topics groups. This section provides a list of names of groups of training topics as well as the number of trainees per each topic. It's important to note that on this summarized tabular view, a lot of trainees will be counted more than once. This is because they are most likely to be assigned to multiple training topic groups. For example, 50% of the 152 trainees assigned to Apex Business Logic Training Group, in the example here, may also be assigned to other topic groups, and thus show up on those totals as well. The next analytics section is the status update % bar chart view. This analysis section provides you with a holistic view of the percentage breakdown of trainees that have completed or not completed all assigned training. This is important because when reporting to senior leadership and program leads, it is essential to be able to present training progress at a holistic perspective. The next analytics section is the Trainee Scorecard Report. This report presents a summarized view of the percentage of the trainees that are yet to take this topic, as well as those who have been trained. It also presents the percentage of trainees that have become very competent on the trained topic. The next analytics section is a tabular report that presents a summarized view of trainees by division and by job title. Using this view, you can quickly see which divisions have the highest or lowest numbers of trainees. Divisions and groups with high numbers of trainees will need more flexibility with training session options. Asking everyone in the division to show up to one training session will not be a productive effort. Scheduling multiple training sessions, for example at different days and times, for trainees within such a heavily impacted division will go a long way in getting most of the trainees to show up or dial in to the training. The next analytics section is a tabular reporting view that presents a summarized view of trainees by geographical region or country and state. Using this view, you can quickly see which countries or regions have the highest or lowest levels of trainees, and plan your training delivery accordingly to accommodate time zones, local requirements, and other localized needs. And that concludes the high-level overview of the Analytics dashboard. If ever you would like to see more views or more charts, click on this button here to contact the AGS team for a quote. Next, we'll go back to the home page by clicking the tab at the top left. I'll give you a brief overview of the unique list and orgs and unique list of job roles pages. These are explained more fully in the first video in this series, which is the tutorial for the OCM ERP Tools main dashboard page. Before going over these pages, I'd like to address the key reasons why we choose to use the process of having unique list of organizational groups and a unique list of job roles. To ensure consistency in nomenclature, it is best practice to use a centralized list of names. These lists are then used as drop-downs on the appropriate columns throughout the 8 modules in the OCM ERP tool for change planning and management. This structure is important because it ensures that you or anyone else populating the information on the template database is using the same nomenclature. For example, a unique list structure limits when someone inputs upper level as upper space level using 2 words, but then someone else enters upper level as 1 word or enters upper dash level using a hyphen. Inconsistent variations lead to data integrity and consistency issues, which is why using a unique list of organization names is essential. We'll take a look at the unique list of orgs first by clicking this link. The first column you'll see, which is the divisions column, this is where you enter the unique list of all divisions in your company. The second column is where you enter the unique list of all departments within the company. Use the group column to input the unique list of groups across the organization. Where possible, make sure to include the list of every organization within the company. This way they are all included as part of the drop-down options on the template databases in the appropriate modules for easy selection. Anywhere you see columns with divisions, departments, and groups in this module and other modules in the OCM ERP tool, the drop-down menu will be populated by your entries into this page. This is a master page that is shared by all modules in the tool. So you'll see there is an option here to go to the main dashboard. You can either click the house icon at the top of the main dashboard tab. We are now at the main dashboard of the OCM ERP tool. From here, we'll go back into the training management module that we were reviewing to get the module's homepage. Next, I'll click the link to the unique list of job roles page. To populate the job roles column on this page, you can save time by asking your HR department for a list of the job roles across the organization. Copy the provided list and save as text on the job roles column. It is important that you right-click and save the data as values to maintain the existing format. Where possible, make sure to include the list of every job role across the company. This way they are all included as part of the drop-down option on the template databases in the appropriate modules for easy selection. And that concludes the overview of the unique list of job orgs and the unique list of job roles pages. To get back out to the main dashboard from this page, just click the house icon at the top. Then we'll click into the training management icon to get back into the module's homepage. And that covers the main areas and the infrastructure of this AGS Training and Enablement Management module. All of the information that I have provided today is documented in the instructions and tutorial page of the module. Just go to the home page and click the instruction and tutorials link, and you'll find the job aid by using this module. I hope this step-by-step video tutorial will be a great learning process for helping you understand how to use the training and enablement module of the OCM ERP tool, as well as understanding the overall infrastructure of the module. If you have any questions or if you need additional features and capabilities to be developed for you, just send us an email and your question or request will be routed to the right contacts. Now we're going to review the last area within the OCM ERP tool, which is the change plan template. If you're watching this end-to-end OCM ERP tutorial in a series of separate videos, the video on the change plan template is the one to watch next.